Hi, and welcome to BuyEnglishPodcast.com. I am your host Tariq, and today we are diving into a topic of hugely neglected and often overlooked the importance, the art of listening. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly heard? Not interrupted, not rushed, just heard. Now pause for a moment and think. When was the last time you gave the same feeling to someone else? Alright, I think you have think about it, but let's explore why listening matters in verbal communication. Many people believe communication is about speaking clearly, but communication does not begin with or when we open our mouth. It begins when we open our attention. Have you got it? If not, I'm going to say this again because it's very crucial to understand. Communication does not begin when we open our mouth. It begins when we open our attention. If you are able to understand this, I think you will understand the importance why listening matters. Let me give you another example so you can better understand. There is a simple quote that says, "We have 2 ears and one mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." I hope you got the idea. Because we have 2 ears and one mouth. This gives the sense that we need to listen more as compared to speak. So, generally, we can say we can listen twice as much as we speak. Now, listening shapes every conversation we have, like the conversation at home, at work, in classrooms, and in difficult moments. When listening is weak, conversations feel heavy. When listening is strong, even silence feels meaningful. Right? I don't know, but what I said is amazing. It's really good. I'm going to say this again. You need to hear this. When listening is weak, conversations feel heavy. When listening is strong, even silence feels meaningful. Okay, hope you got the point. So, your listening should be strong and it's meaningful, like you are trying to comprehend the things in a broader aspect, right? Just not listening, you are making pictures in your mind where the person is trying to go, what he is or she is trying to achieve, right? What this means in a broader perspective. If you can evaluate this, if you can comprehend this, your listening is strong, means even silence feels meaningful. In today's episode, we are slowing things down. We are learning how listening works, why it matters, and how it quietly improves every spoken interaction. So stay with me. Let's start with a simple truth to understand why listening really means. Hearing is automatic, listening is a choice. Okay, you can hear words while thinking about your reply. You can hear words while checking your phone. But listening means staying with the speaker moment by moment. Okay, if you are listening and having a conversation, you can reply back in the middle when you think that's need a reply. If you are not paying attention, if you are not listening it correctly, then maybe at the end you are going to say come again, or I beg your pardon, something like this. So it means you are not listening or paying attention. So here is a powerful idea I want to recommend you to remember. Listening is not waiting for your turn to talk. If you abide this rule, if you follow this rule, it will helps you a lot. I'm going to say this again. Listening is not waiting for your turn to talk. If you think you can interrupt, you can inject, you go ahead and do that. Present your idea with more factual results, more powerful speech, some strong words. You need to learn this. In verbal communication, meaning is built together. It's not just words. When you are verbally communication, your tone matters, your speed matters, your pauses absolutely matter, and your emotion. Sometimes what matter most is not the sentence, but how it was said. That's the one of the crucial idea. You need to learn more. You need to understand which tone, which speed, where you need to add the pauses, emotion. So once you master this, you will become a brilliant, a powerful speaker who can change the world. So as you listen to this episode, notice your own attention. Are you present right now? Are you listening carefully and able to understand what I'm trying to communicate? Okay, are you preparing yourself to learn, explore, improve? That's the all motivation I have. I want to give you this potential, this feeling that you can do more. You just need to learn and move forward. Now let's explore the qualities of a good listener. Good listeners are not perfect. They are intentional. Okay, so keep in mind, good listeners are not perfect. They are intentional. First, attention. Attention details the speakers you matter. Okay, so pay attention. Second, body language. A simple nod can say more than words. Eye contact keep the conversation grounded. So feels like you and the speaker are on the same page. Third, empathy. Empathy says, I may not feel what you feel, but I want to understand. This is empathy. This is the one of the basic simple definition I can provide you. I'm going to say this again. Empathy says, I may not feel what you feel, but I want to understand. And then there is patience. Patience allows thoughts to fully form. Many important ideas arrive after a pause. So, giving a pause while during the conversation to help you to do the mind mapping. Where are you going? Are you going in the right direction? It also intrigue the other the listeners or the speaker or anybody who is listening that where you are going. So pauses at the right moment gives you more clarity. Here is a phrase worth remembering: slow listening leads to deeper understanding. So pay attention. Now let's discuss the common barriers to listening. Now let's be honest, listening is not always easy. You need to understand and accept this. Distractions pull us away. Phone vibrate, thoughts wander. Okay, there are many kind of distractions possible. Like your mom is calling, your wife is calling, there is a call, there is a like you start wondering what I will be doing tomorrow, how I gonna achieve this, what other resources I have, I need to mow my garden. Okay, many more things that comes to your mind, but assumptions also interfere sometimes. When we think we already know the ending, we stop listening in the middle. That's the biggest blocker I face. When I understand where this conversation is going and what will happen at the end, we my all interest goes like it ends for me, and I just pretending I know, I understand. I just diverted to different screen. Sometimes if I'm watching a video, when I comprehend and deal or understand where this conversation is leading, oh, I know where he is going, then I just switch back to another video or some kind of stuff that you are doing. Maybe this is how it works, but you need to understand. Emotions can cloud understanding. When feelings rise, words can feel sharper than they are. And sometimes we listen on the surface only. Our face says yes, but our mind is elsewhere. I hope this happens with you most of the time, or sometimes when your face is in the agreeing situation but your mind is wandering around listening something. This usually happened to me when I was in the classroom. So my expressions, like I am thinking, I'm watching the whiteboard, and I'm saying, yeah, I understand, but my mind was doing something. What will I do at the when I arrive at home? What I will be doing in evening? Hey, I gonna play the game, and how energetic it will be, having fun, something like this. Then what I will be doing in the break time or recess time. So just giving you the idea. So sometimes we listen on the surface only. Our face says yes, but our mind is elsewhere. Here is the question for you: how often do you listen to respond instead of listening to understand? Okay, now learn about practical steps to improve listening, like what you can do starting today. First, be present. Presence is a skill you can practice. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Hey, I need to get back. So you are doing some work and you got distracted. So, like, tune it in a way that you need to get back in 2-3 minutes as soon as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna spend several minutes, several hours, and you are not going to complete or focus the work you were doing. Second, allow silence. Silence is not empty. Silence gives space for clarity. Okay, so remember, allow silence. Third, reflect what you hear. Try phrases like So what are you saying is, it sounds like you felt this kind of phrases when you are doing the conversation or listening. It helps you keep in touch with the conversation, or in intact with the audience or speaker, because you just want them to say again or focus the core points. That's the way. Sometimes the speaker is diverting, so you can inject. So what you are saying is this, like, we need to drive slower, something like this, and we need to care more about our home, something like this. Okay, it sounds like you felt. You can inject with these phrases, so these help a lot. Fourth, ask questions that invite explanation, like not questions to prove a point. So you are just not going to prove a point, just asking a question, questions to understand. Okay, so you can ask a question like, how I gonna do this? That's the answer. Someone is trying to uh, give you the swimming classes just verbally, but you can ask, how I gonna do this? I just want to jump in the water and start swimming. So these kind of intriguing questions that can help you. And finally, listen beyond words. Tone often reveals emotion. Pauses often reveal meaning. Remember this. I'm going to say this again. Tone often reveals emotion. Pauses often reveal meaning. So your tone, it shows that you are in control, you are angry, you are going to cry. So your tone reveals emotion. But pauses reveal the meaning. Here's a good, simple reminder. Good listening makes people feel safe to speak. How to show you are listening. Listening lives inside you, but it must be seen. Simple phrases help. I see. That makes sense. Go on. So these phrases helps a lot. These words guide the conversation forward. Reflective responses shows care. They say, I am with you. That means a lot for most of the people. When you say, I am with you, your posture, your facial expression, your silence, all of these speak even when you do not. Ask yourself, what does my listening look like to others? Listening changes depending on where you are. In personal relationships, listening builds closeness. People often open up when they feel understood. At work, listening creates clarity. Clear listening saves time and reduce confusion. In learning spaces, like listening, support memory and growth. When attention is present, learning deepens. Where in your life could better listening make the difference? Tell me more about it. I am ready to listen. When you listen well, people notice. Have you noticed this? When you listen well, people notice you. Conversations feel lighter. Conflicts soften. Trust grows. When you just nod your head in the agreement, or this gives a sense to the speaker or the other person that you are in agreement. You agree some of their points, most of their point. This gives a trust. Okay, even you wanna differentiate on some of their opinions, but in a polite way, in a trustful way, that giving the importance some of their work. Here is a simple truth. People may forget your words, but they remember how you listen. If you understand this, listening will be much easier for you. You're gonna enjoy, people gonna enjoy your conversation, your listenings, add few values, few sentences, but they notice you were available to listen their ideas. Listening is not something you finish learning. It grows with practice. You know, when you interact with persons or people who do businesses and daily meet with hundreds of people like store owners, other people. So they are good at face reader, mind reader. They never stop learning. They know how to deal with people, what they're gonna say, what their responses, the customer responses are. So listening grows with practice, with awareness, with intention. Every conversation is feedback. Every pause is an opportunity. Be patient with yourself. Listening improves one moment at a time. So, in the ending, I want to say listening is not just a communication skill, it's a human skill. It says you matter. It says I am here. It says I care. In a world full of noise, listening is a quiet strength. Thank you for spending this time listening. In this episode of Pi English Podcast, we spoke to you. You spoke to your friend. Share it with someone who values meaningful conversations. I will see you later. Thanks. Bye.